I'm gonna tickle, tickle, tickle. I'm gonna tickle, tickle you. You're gonna giggle, giggle, giggle. You're gonna giggle.
Alright guys, it's time for my top 10 least favorite things about college. I hope you guys will enjoy the video. Coming in at number 10 is the fact that college is very impersonal. Most of the time, especially if you're in like a big university, a lot of the teachers are not going to know you by name, which is something I really don't like because like what if you need help, the teacher's not even going to know who you are. And like with my classes, since they're hybrid classes, part of it's online, like if I have to email my teacher something, they're not going to know who I am, so I think that kind of sucks. Number 9 is something that bothers me like every single day when I'm at school, because once I'm leaving and I go out the front of the building, at the front of each building at my school there's a smokers area. So it's like once you open the door, this smoke cloud just smacks you in the face. It's like a cloud of cancer. And all you can smell is just the smoke, and it's terrible. I hate the smell of smoke, secondhand smoke, and plus it's really unhealthy. I think they should move the smokers area away from the front of each building because nobody wants to smell that every time they open the door. It's really obnoxious. And nobody wants to get cancer on their way to and from class. Number 8 is something that I guess is just a personal preference to me, but a lot of my classmates are really old people and there's like nobody around my age. I mean, there are some people, but you know, with all these old people, it's kind of hard to meet new people, make friends, because the age gap is so vast. I prefer to hang out with people around my age. I guess that's just me. Number 7 is kind of a killer because the price of tuition is just outrageous for any college that you go to, even a community college, which is cheaper than going to like a big university. I mean, unless you have like a full ride scholarship, you're gonna shell out like a couple $1,000s just to go to school, and really I don't see that that's fair. I mean, what family these days just has $1,000 to shovel out to somebody? I mean, yeah, you could say there is financial aid, but even still, I get financial aid, and my parents and I still have to shovel out a couple $1,000s for me to go to college. And it's really hard right now because, as you guys know, my parents' financial issues, there's a big problem there. And, I just feel like it's ridiculous how much you have to pay, plus all the money that you spend on getting books, and then to find out you don't even use the book in class. It's ridiculous. Like most of the time, every time we buy books, we never use it in class. So basically it's a waste of money. And then when you go to sell the book back to the store at the end of semester, all they want to give you is like not even $20. Okay, so this actually happened to me. So last semester I bought all my books, and it was around $200 to $300 for just books alone. And then at the end of the semester, when I went to sell the books back to the bookstore, the guy literally said that they would only give me around $20 for all my books after we just spent $200 to $300. Now how fair is that? And plus, that all they're gonna do is just put the books back on the shelf and sell them to another sucker for a couple $100s. It's really a ripoff, and plus, like I said, you don't even use the book, so what's the point? Number 6 is freaking annoying. Every single semester, we have to wait in these lines at like financial aid and advising and stuff. Everybody's doing it at the same time, so obviously the lines are going to be huge. We're literally waiting at this place for like 2 to 3 hours before we can even talk to anybody about financial aid or, like I said, advising or whatever else we have to do. And nobody wants to spend their whole day at, signing up for classes and financial aid and all this stuff. It's really annoying that they take so long. Alright guys, we're back here at the top 5, and coming in at number 5 is there's a lot of car accidents like around campus, like off campus, and even in campus. I mean, I guess there's just a lot of crazy drivers around campus, and I know this pertains mainly to my school, but I'm sure it happens at other schools. But people speed all the time around campus, and it's kind of dangerous because there's a lot of people walking, and every time I'm going to school, like almost every single day, there's an accident out on the road beside the college, and it's pretty dangerous around there. So if you're going to college and you're walking, just be careful. Numbers 4 and 3 are kind of in the same area, I guess, and I'm going to be talking about parking, because at the beginning of the semester, parking is a nightmare. Everybody, is there, nobody has dropped their classes yet, and it just seems like there is nowhere to park. I literally take like 30 minutes to an hour just to find a parking spot for one class, and that is ridiculous because A, that makes you late for your class, and B, once you leave that parking spot, somebody's gonna take it, and then if you have another class on the other side of semester like I do, once I leave that first parking spot, there's no going back, and then once I get to the opposite side of campus, it's hard to find a parking spot again, and it makes me late to class again. But luckily, after about maybe 2 or 3 weeks or so, people start dropping classes, and it makes it very easy to find a parking spot. And then going to number 3, which I said is kind of in the same area as number 4, teachers take all of the best parking spots. Basically how my school has it set up is there's 2 different types of parking spots. One of them is blue and one of them is white. So the white lines are for students, blue lines are for teachers, and in my personal opinion, I think they gave teachers too many parking spots because there's not that many teachers around, and if a student parks there, they get their car towed, and it's really unfair because there's really not enough parking for the students, and there's too much for the teachers, so it's really just not fair. Alright, so 2 and 1 kind of go in the same area as well. So for 2 and 1, basically, it's just really hard being a full-time student and working at the same time, because, with number 1 on my list, there's just so much homework, and because you're working and going to school at the same time, it's hard to balance everything. Plus, obviously, you want to have a life, so you're basically juggling 3 things at once. And for me, since I'm doing YouTube, I'm juggling like 4 things at once. And it's really hard to find a life-work balance because, you have all these homework assignments, projects, and studying that you have to do, but you also have to work at night. And I just don't like working while I'm going to school because it makes it really hard to, focus on all my schoolwork. And when I don't focus, I don't do well. So, yeah, I find it hard in a lot of my classes to, understand because a lot of this stuff is totally new to me, and I'm learning kind of as I go. But if I don't have the time to focus on what I'm doing, that's just gonna mess me up. So, number 2 and 1, the homework and the working and going to school at the same time, I guess, go hand in hand with each other. And that's very difficult, and I would highly recommend, if you can help it, don't go to school and work at the same time. Anyway guys, thank you so very much for watching. That was the 2nd episode of my top 10 today. Hopefully I'll have both of these episodes uploaded around the same time. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, favorite, subscribe, comment, and toodles.